I'd like to ask the audience for another oral question, please. And this will be for Ray. If you have a question, please raise your hand.
First of all, you have a yes or no?
I've listened to all this talk about food and beverage for years. I believe in the strength of the committees. I believe that the board can appoint ad hoc committees. And I think that, I wonder how you feel about actually having a committee that is responsible for what's happening with food and beverage. Finance has worked on it, House committees worked on it, but if you had an ad hoc committee that devoted itself to this.
Thank you. Thank you. Ray,
Are we ready?
yes. Ray.
Yeah, okay. An ad hoc committee, and by responsible, I would say, is their main priority, because I do see the people responsible as being our GM, our food and bev manager, and ultimately our GM, because he's the guy at the top. And to have a committee that is strictly focused on that, you know, honestly, I don't know if that's redundant from all of our other committees, that it's not already covered. Have we not done it in the past? Yeah, we probably haven't done a good job of it, but it is up to the board and it's up to us to keep hammering on our GM and that to get that going. And I think he's made some improvements. I mean, you know, the pizza thing is good. The burger night's been real good. Some of the buffet nights have been very popular. And so I think some of those changes have been good. But a separate ad hoc committee, I'm not sure that that's necessarily the answer. But not tough.
Thanks, Ray.
Well, I would agree with that, as well as some of the other things that should be looked at. But we have some members here that have been successful restaurateurs. You know, why not let them make some input on what we're doing, what we can do to make the restaurant successful? It only makes sense to me, I think, you know. And not that they would come in here and run the restaurant, but they can come in here and take a look at the operation and then make suggestions to the general manager and the food and beverage manager of what we're doing, what we need to do to make some changes. I mean, I'm not talking about just a group of, like, anybody can sign up for the committees and stuff. People who are successful restaurateurs that know how the restaurant business works. Because this is a public restaurant, it's open to the public. You know, so we have to serve the club and the public as well. And if we get the public to come in here and eat, all these people that are next door to us that are captured here, a lot of our problems are going to go away.
Thank you. Tracy?
Good question. Nothing has worked so far. We've had committees, no go. We've had ad hoc committees run by guys whose sole restaurant experience is running through McDonald's. It ain't going to work. I and Mr. Abarge are offering you a solution to have people with actual experience who know how to run a restaurant, who know how to train the wait staff, who know how to make money in a restaurant. This is what I'm offering you and Mr. Abarge is offering you. This is your chance.
Thank you. Tom?
I think an ad hoc committee, let's try it. The thing of it is, if we have an ad hoc committee, we need to listen to them. I think we went through this one other time, and we really didn't listen to them very well. But hey, we're always willing to try something new. Maybe that's what'll work. It seems to be struggling a little bit right now, and I personally think we're on the road to recovery. But hey, we can try an ad hoc committee. Let's go.
Thank you. Michael?
I agree that anything that we can do to get member input into helping the club run better is something viable that we ought to look at. And having a committee that's, providing suggestions to the restaurant may not be a bad idea, and if it's adequately structured, then it might have some value to the club.
Thank you. The shift. Okay. This question will be for Greg to start. Mission Lakes Country Club has been very successful in providing its members with a beautiful golf course, albeit at a significant cost. As an example, on a daily basis, you will see members abusing our golf course by parking and driving within a few feet of the putting surfaces and the tee boxes. Cigarette butts are simply stomped out on the grass and left as they are. Mission Lakes Country Club now has a new golf etiquette committee, and the rules have been adopted and are in place. The question is, what are your thoughts regarding the enforcement of these rules and the risk to a member's good standing? And secondly, do you support the continuation of the etiquette subcommittee? That's for Greg to start.
Well, I think you get into an area here where you gotta be careful, because we have employees that we hire here to run the club, and those should be the people that are doing the discipline and telling other members what to do, not the members. So there's a fine line there, and you're gonna wind up with some problems if you have a group of members that are, telling other members what to do. When you complain to the club and they handle it with the golf pro shop or the general manager and stuff like that through the administration, that makes them the bad guys, okay? If they have to come down and tell somebody, look, we're gonna suspend you, or we're gonna have a hearing, or something like that, and that's the way it should be. It should be those people that do that. And we pretty much have a pretty good structure and a system in place. We have, if you have a complaint, you go to the pro shop, you make the complaint, and that goes to the general manager, and the general manager can call somebody in and take action from there, or go to the board with it. So I just think that we need to be very careful when you get around doing that, and I think it should be the administration here that handles the disciplinary things, not members.
Thanks, Greg. Tracy.
I have nothing to add. Mr. Robarger said it all. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
I think the etiquette committee has been doing an outstanding job. If you play a lot of golf, you can see a lot of differences. I see a lot better where the carts are not on the greens. You know what? Take a picture and send it into the GM and the head pro. Seems like they must be working on that, because people seem to be following the rules a lot more than what they were from opening day. That's it.
Thank you. Mike.
I agree. I think that the etiquette committee for the golf course is a wonderful idea, and that it's something that ought to be supported by the club, and the process is, probably best served by having it handled by the golf shop or by the golf pro and by the general manager, rather than members trying to discipline other members. It's maybe no different than the ACC committee, where we have rules. If there's a violation, that there's a fine or something that goes out with the ACC. I think that with the etiquette committee, there ought to be some sort of penalty, because that's what gets compliance with anything. So I think it's a good idea, and we should support it.
Thanks, Mike. Ray.
Yeah, I agree that it should be our employees here that are handling some of this stuff. It should be David and his staff handling some of that stuff down there. I got to be honest. I see carts pull up there. I see some people breaking the rules, but for the most part, compared to a lot of golf courses I've been at, I see a lot of people following the rules. And so maybe that is because of this etiquette committee. Maybe that's just because we've, ever since I've lived here, I mean, every single men's club meeting I've ever been to, at least back in the Tom Brady days and that, I remember him saying, what's wrong with you guys? knock the sand off your shoes when you walk out, don't walk on the green. I'm like, you know, it's a reoccurring problem at golf courses all the time. Having an etiquette committee to handle that is certainly appropriate, but members telling other members what to do is no good, because that's just going to start problems, and let the professionals handle it.
Thank you, thank you. As luck would have it, we are actually, nope, we'll start with them. So this last opportunity will be a statement by each of the candidates. Starts with Tracy, and you'll have 1 minute to provide a closing and final comment. Tracy.
Thank you. First, I want to thank the committee. Well run, as every other committee should be run. I applaud you guys. You did a great job. 29 years ago, our founders brought forth on this desert a new club, conceived in community and dedicated to the proposition that all members are created equal. For over a decade, our club has been governed by special interests who put their interests ahead of the majority will of you, the members of Mission Lakes Country Club. With your vote, I will return our club to the vision of our founders, one of financial stability, sound business practice, and most of all, common sense. But I cannot do this alone. We have in our community a vast wealth of talent. I have and will call on you members for your proven experience. Those who have called on are ready to serve. Today, I offer you the opportunity to reclaim your club. I promise that your suggestions and concerns will no longer be ignored, belittled, and brushed aside.
Thank you, thank you. Tom?
I too want to congratulate the committee and everybody that came out. It's good to see everybody. I think we've got a great club. I think we can improve it. People work hard at it. You know, there is a saying out there that in God we trust. Everybody else, bring the data and show us. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Mike?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for attending, thank you guys for making this possible. I think that the thing that makes this a strong club is that there's people with a variety of backgrounds that are willing to give up a lot of time and energy to be involved in trying to make the club a good place. And that's one of my pledges with it, is I don't have any personal agendas in it. And I think that if we get input from the membership, develop sound plans, develop a sound financial method to accomplish those, that we can continue to have a nice club and continue to improve it in the future.
Thanks, Mike. Ray?
Okay, I would also like to thank everybody for coming out. Look, when I was going through some of these documents and things like that for, you know, getting ready for this and running for this board, I was reading some of the Davis Sterling Act, and you know, it was fascinating. Let me tell you, oh boy, it had they call us a common interest development, and it had a warning in there that said, "Study the governing instruments and give careful thought to whether you're able to exist happily in an atmosphere of cooperative living, where the interests of the group must be taken into account as the interests of the individual." I will, if you elect me, take in the interests of the group, Mission Lakes, as well as the interests of the individual. But I think there's a good reason why one is listed before the other. Both are important, but the group is what needs to be healthy.
Thank you, Ray. Lastly, Greg.
Well, Hall was right when he said it's a lot of time being on the board. Believe me. So, but we've started a lot of things that I'd like to see get finished. Some of the stuff with the renters, and we're having all of our documents reviewed and updated, and going to make, hopefully get some changes put out to a vote to the membership. So there's a lot of stuff that's been going on that I'd like to be a part of and finish up for the time that I've put on the board already the last couple of years. And that's why I'm running again, and that's why I want to be on the board to serve the other 2 years term.
Thank you very much. Okay, I think in closing, we'd certainly like to offer our congratulations to the candidates for stepping up and committing to 2 years of their lives, which is going to consume a significant amount of time. And they're doing that on behalf of this club and on behalf of all of us members. I'd like to give a special thanks to Tom Brady, Julie Dawson, Trish Carney, and Laura Babcock for her involvement and assistance to this committee, which was invaluable. So Hall, would you like to say anything?
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for being such good members.
Thank you all.